minus 32. That's 8. 8 times 4 is 32. Oh, that's 0. Here, I want to find the value of a minus b. So before I find a minus b, I should find what a and b are. It says that it's differentiable. Two things to be differentiable. First, it has to be continuous. So if it's going to be continuous, these two need to be equal when x is 1. So that's a times 1 has to equal b times 1 squared plus 1 plus 1. So I get a is b plus 2. That's the first condition. That doesn't give me a and b because I have two unknowns. But to be differentiable, their derivatives have to also be equal. So derivative of ax would be a, derivative of bx squared would be 2bx, and derivative of plus x is plus 1, that one goes away. Now I need their derivatives to be equal at x equals 1, so I have a equals 2b times 1 plus 1. So a is 2b plus 1. I've got two equations, I've got two unknowns. So I'm just going to substitute. This one is already solved for a, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to substitute it in. So I have b plus 2 is 2b plus 1. Subtract the 1 over, that's 1. Subtract the b over, that's b. Ooh, there's your first one. b equals 1. And then a is just b plus 2. b is 1 plus 2 is 3. So if a is 3 and b is 1, if I want the value of a minus b, I just substitute in. 3 minus 1 is 2. So that's the answer. So this, you'll see something like this on multiple choice, because oftentimes you're asked for this, but if you have multiple choice, like once they give you the options, you don't have to do the work to get them. You could just substitute in. So they'll ask like question, what is a plus b or a minus b, so that you have to find a and b on your own and not just check answer choices. All right, 22, when x equals 2e, the limit of this. So limit is h approaching 0 over h. This makes me think derivative. Now if you look, I'm saying natural log of x plus h minus natural log of x. So this is natural log of x. Natural log of x is definitely the function we're taking derivative of. So this is saying derivative of natural log of x at x equals 2e. So I have to actually find the derivative, right? Natural log of x, derivative is 1 over x. And if I plug in at 2e, that's 1 over 2e. Here, these are chain with 3 chains. I have 3 functions. So derivative of the outside first, leave the inside the same. Derivative of the inside would be cosine of x to the 5th, and then one more inside, 5x to the 4th, so that's 15x to the 4th, sine squared, cosine. Similar here, it's just my power is to be positive 1/2. Derivative of the outside first, leave the inside the same, and then multiply derivative of the inside, which would be cosine of 3x, one more inside to go, 3. So then this is 3 over 2, cosine of 3x, and then negative means it goes in the bottom, 1/2 is the square root. And lastly here, this is telling me derivative because I have h approaching 0 over h. The function I'm taking derivative of is definitely sine. So this is saying derivative of sine. Now this is not just like in terms of x, like this one showed in terms of x. This one is plugged in a value, so this is going to be at the x equals pi over 6. And if you're like, why are you talking about pi over 6, not the this value right here? That is what sine of pi over 6 is. So think of this as your f of x plus h. So I have the plus h, that tells me my x value is pi over 6. So at x equals pi over 6, and then the f of is the sine function. So derivative of sine is cosine, evaluated at pi over 6. Cosine of pi over 6 is this one, root 3 over 2. If you have questions, you can come in the morning.